Alright, I need you to imagine this. It's 2026, you boot up The Witcher 3 again. Yes, the game you've already finished twice, once properly, and once as a chaotic goblin who loots every spoon. And there's a new story DLC sitting on the menu like it never left. Because that's the rumor right now, that Witcher 3 might get another story DLC, potentially in 2026, and it might be worked on by Fool's Theory, the studio also involved with the Witcher 1 remake. Now I'm gonna say this up front so people don't clip me out of context. This is not confirmed. It's a rumor being passed around based on reports referencing Polish podcasters Rock and Boris. But even rumors can be fun, as long as we keep our expectations on a leash. Like a strong leash, the kind you'd need when Roach sees a fence. So today I want to talk about, if this rumored DLC is real, what could we realistically get? Not we're getting Witcher 3 Part 2 with 100 hours and a new continent. I mean, what makes sense in the real world? Budgets, dev time, what CDPR has already said they're doing with The Witcher 3, and the fact they're obviously busy with future Witcher stuff. And at the end, I want to know, if we only get one big feature in a new Witcher 3 DLC, new quests, new area, or new gameplay system, which one are you picking? Drop it in the comments because I'm really interested in what you guys think. So what people are saying is basically, there's a new story-driven Witcher 3 DLC rumored for 2026. It may be developed by Fool's Theory, not CDPR directly, and it could be a real DLC, like story content, not just a cosmetic pack. Now the reason this rumor gets any oxygen at all is because Witcher 3 is still getting attention officially. CDPR has been working on cross-platform mod support, mods shared across PC, PS5 and Xbox Series X and S via mod.io. And they've said that rollout is now delayed to 2026. Also, they released the official Redkit mod tools for Witcher 3 back on May 21st, 2024, which basically supercharged the mod scene. So Witcher 3 isn't dead. It's like undead. In a good way. Like a friendly vampire, not the scary ones. Before we start dreaming, let's shut down a few things it probably isn't. First, it probably isn't Blood and Wine 2. Blood and Wine was basically a whole extra game. New region, major story, new everything. If you're expecting that again, I'm not saying impossible, but I am saying you're setting yourself up to be emotionally suplexed. Next, it probably isn't a massive new overhaul of the game. They're already doing the mod support work, and that's clearly not simple. It is being pushed to 2026, so a giant reinvent Witcher 3 update alongside a full expansion, that's a lot. And lastly, it probably isn't going to rewrite the ending. Witcher 3 already has multiple endings, and Blood and Wine is basically a farewell. If they add story content, it'll likely be designed to fit without breaking the canon of people's saves. So think side story, bridge story, or smaller contained expansion. Now, if you ask me, there are 3 realistic shapes this rumored DLC could take. Option A quest pack on steroids. This would be like a new multi-part questline, maybe 4 to 8 hours, a few Witcher contracts, some new gear, maybe one standout boss fight, maybe a smaller new hub area, not a whole kingdom. Basically, bigger than the old free DLC packs, smaller than Hearts of Stone. Option B, a medium expansion. This could be more like 10 to 15 hours, a small new region, or a heavily expanded existing area. New characters, new endings within the DLC, not the main game. More voice acting, more cinematics. This is the okay, this is actually serious scenario. And option C, a bridge DLC. This is the one that could get people talking. A story designed to connect Witcher 3 to whatever comes next in the Witcher game timeline. Not in a way that forces Witcher 4 stuff into Witcher 3, but more like a final epilogue adventure that plants seeds. And if the rumor is true that it's outsourced, that kind of bridge DLC makes sense. It lets CDPR keep their main teams focused while still feeding this fan base something meaningful. Alright, story time. If they're adding story DLC, what could it even be about? Here are 5 ideas that feel like they could happen without turning into fan fiction. So first, one last contract storyline. Geralt gets pulled into a chain of contracts that seem normal at first. Griffin here, Noonwraith there, but it escalates into a bigger conspiracy. Witcher 3 is so good at doing this. It starts as, "Oh, my shed is haunted," and ends with, "This village is being used as an emotional battery by a cursed immortal who's been alive since the moon was invented." So a new DLC could simply be a new contract chain that turns into a full mini expansion. Next, a DLC focused on a specific monster myth. Instead of random monsters, they pick one folklore vibe and commit a higher vampire-related mystery, a massive relic creature like something out of Skellige stories. A curse that spreads like a disease across villages. And this is where you can get new mechanics without huge changes, like tracking that matters, choices that affect the region, a boss that changes depending on what you did earlier. 3. A political story, Nilfgaard Northern Realms mess. Witcher 3 already nails messy politics, so they could set up a storyline where Geralt has to deal with the aftermath of the war, shifting power, old enemies coming out of the woodwork. Not Geralt becomes king, or anything dumb like that, but more like, I need you to escort someone important, and then you realize you're basically babysitting a walking assassination attempt. 4. A Witcher School mystery. People love Witcher schools. They love them. So imagine a DLC where Geralt finds a lost Witcher cache, old trial records, a hidden ruin, and it connects to a school we haven't seen much of in Witcher 3. That gives you new lore, new gear scavenger hunts, and an excuse to add a new combat style gear set. And lastly, a series-focused episode, carefully done. This is the spicy one. Not because it can't work, series sections were cool, but because it risks messing with endings. So if they did it, I think it'd be a contained playable episode, framed as a story being told Dandelion style, or a this happened earlier flashback. That way they don't have to declare one ending the true ending. Here's the part people aren't connecting enough. CDPR is actively pushing Witcher 3 towards a future where mods are easier to use across platforms, and they're using mod.io as the pipeline, and Redkit already exists for PC. So picture this, a DLC that's partly content and partly infrastructure. Like DLC drops alongside the 2026 cross-platform mod update, the DLC includes official quests and gear, and it quietly ships new tools or hooks that make bigger mods possible, and console players get their first taste of curated mods. I'm not saying that's definitely the plan, I'm saying it's a clean business move, because Witcher 3 sells forever. It prints money forever. And giving it another moment in the spotlight right up before the next big Witcher game, marketing ramps up, that's kind of smart. Alright, what I want versus what we'll probably get. Let's do 2 lists. So what I want, and this will be me being greedy, a small new region you can actually explore. A new mini-villain that's as good as Hearts of Stone's writing, more detective work, less follow the red trail for 900 meters, at least one insanely memorable boss fight, one new mechanic that changes the feel of combat a bit. Now what we'll probably get in reality. A strong questline, some new contracts, a new armor set or two, a few new weapons, maybe a new side character everyone falls in love with immediately, and the DLC will be designed so it doesn't break your save or force an ending. And honestly, if the writing is good, that's enough. Witcher 3 fans are not starving for content. We're starving for that specific Witcher 3 feeling. So yeah, do I think the Witcher 3 DLC rumor is real? I'm putting it in the possible but don't bet your house category. The rumor exists, and multiple outlets pointed to the same origin, but CDPR hasn't confirmed it. What we do know is Witcher 3 is still getting official support, with cross-platform mod support now aiming for 2026, so the game is still on their radar. Now I want to throw it to you. If Witcher 3 gets one last DLC, what should it be? A huge story questline, a new region, a series episode, more Witcher contracts, or just give me Toussaint again, and let me retire like a king. And if you want, I can also do a follow-up video idea like how Witcher 3 could set up the next Witcher game without ruining anything. Yeah, I know that title needs work, but you get the idea. If you enjoyed this, hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.